we thought we could probably win it by a couple scores, but we thought we'd just keep it close. And get it down to the end there for everybody. My dad got in for his first game today. I wanted to make him get enjoyable. 4-quarter game. My wife does not like those games, but a true test. First off, give credit to USC, a really good football team. Knew that we were going to have a tremendous challenge today, but I thought our guys since last Saturday to where we are today have just responded internally, externally. Showed me a lot about who they were. The part that really gave me satisfaction during the course of this week is I know my roster better than anybody in this country, right? Like I know who they are, I know what they represent, I knew how they would respond. I saw them during the course of the week. I saw them hurt. I felt myself hurting, but I knew we could respond and do well, and I thought we'd play pretty well today. I thought we really did a good job of handling some things that happened during the game with some adversity, and really excited about that. Don't really know much about some of the injuries. I know Matt Bailey sustained a shoulder, but I think he'll be back with us sooner than later. It's good to get a lot of guys out there. I thought Juice came in and did some really nice things today. JoJo Hayden, Sabor, got 3 guys there that really haven't played a lot of football. I think Miles had 10 tackles. I think Sabor had 7, and I think JoJo maybe had 7. So really excited for those guys to come in. But our offense, I can't say enough for Barry Lundy, our offensive coaches, Bart Miller and the offensive line to kind of respond and do what they did to put up the numbers rushing, and then obviously the adversity that Caden and Khalil faced. I grabbed Caden at halftime. I said, hey man, behind us, what's behind us is behind us. We got to go forward, and then to see him rip off that screen pass and run away from some of those defenders, all 255 pounds of love from all high school is just absolutely awesome to watch that unfold. So super excited about that. With that, I guess we'll open up the questions.
What did Barry and Bart unlock in the offensive line to have the performance I think you guys expected?
So last Sunday, I think that game Saturday was just so out of sorts that, I was reading the stat line and all that stuff, and I made a big deal. I let everybody kind of, Sunday have a moment, and I kind of let things happen on Sunday. I knew the one thing I could control. There's a million things I couldn't control this week. The one thing I could control is my mouth and my response and the things that I do. And we teach that every day in our program, right? Like, you can't control anybody else, but you can control you. What's your response going to be? And I knew they were going to make keys to victory on the last week. We went through them, we didn't have success, and they had keys for this week. But I said on Monday, after all that stuff was taken care of, this program wants to be a winning football team, right? Championship level team. And championship teams do 3 things. They run the ball, defend the run, and cover kicks. And that has to come out. Right? I can't go over that every day. That's got to be a staple. That's part of who we are, right? It's like getting up, brushing our teeth. It's just going to happen. It's got to happen, right? And I thought that happened this week in our preparation. It was a mindset. I know playing these guys, we knew that we were going to play a certain type of style and still our will. And I know they had done some things and did some stuff in pregame that I know our guys riled up pretty good about. So the reputation. I told these guys last night, like, there's 2 things you can't buy in this world. You can't buy time. Nobody can buy yesterday or look ahead to tomorrow, no matter how much money you have. And you can't buy a reputation, right? And all of us have a reputation. Dave, if we come on this campus, we're together, but all of us have a reputation we're going to carry beyond we're here. And you want to have a great reputation about how you fight, and that was a good answer today.
Big game from Luke Altmaier today. What'd you see from Luke?
What I see from Luke?
Yep.
A lot of positive things. Luke just he's a gamer, but also what you see in practice, he's just incredibly resilient. Me, Ethan, Carson Boyd, Art, and obviously Luke had a meeting yesterday afternoon on end of half, end of game. Luke studies end of half, end of game, and reports to all of us. And when I got done, when they scored that touchdown, I knew we had a strong minute and a half or whatever was left on that clock with 2 timeouts. I'm like, there's nobody in this country that I'd rather be on this field with than Luke Altmaier. I just saw him present on Friday what he was going to do, and I would say we ran the ball a little more than we thought on that last drive, but that was a great indicator of what began to happen, and I think we just kind of wore down their will and obviously gave us an icing on the win there.
You joked about making it. You joked about
No, go ahead.
You joked about making the game close to that. You were enjoying about that. There's some value in having the game look like it did. Losing the lead, is there some long-term things that we?
Yeah. So David has been incredible since we talk about reputation. The first time I saw David kick live, I'd seen him kick on film, but when I saw him kick live and I said, well, saw the way that ball just comes off his foot and goes in the air and the sound of it. Jamie Cole's a guy that I respect in his business, and he saw him kick live, and he's like, Bret, that kid's got a special leg. And it's really been good, but hasn't really. We had the one last year, but I just knew he just doesn't miss in those moments, right? And the part that was awesome during the course of the week, he's really the first kicker that I kind of let him call his shot, right? And where do you want to put it? And he's always usually stressing himself pretty hard, but he loves that left middle spot, and to have that play out, to have it show up, and then there was no doubt in my mind that thing was going through. And he just said something in the locker room. I can't repeat what he said. Not that it's bad or anything. It was just really awesome. Like, I'm kind of sitting here, like, you know, he's a Colombian kid. Mom and dad raised an unbelievable kid, and he's got this personality, demeanor. It was pretty awesome to witness that. Sorry, somebody else. Yep.
You got it.
You got it? Yep.
What you see from Barry? You mentioned the offensive game plan. What do you see from them throughout the course of the week?
Well, I saw the emphasis on some things that we do well up front. Some of the combo doubles, some movement at line of scrimmage. I just thought we were playing too much in our backyard. We need to play more in their backyard. So we worked all week. I thought Bart during Tuesday and Wednesday Indy drills, like I could tell he was excited. Just and the way he was talking to his guys and the way those guys were responding to me about the way we kind of game plan some things. We got some barge people there and, you know, did some stuff. So there's some things game plan wise that we wanted to see our demeanor come out and the way it played out. Even at the end of the game there, I don't know how many rushes we had on that last drive, but for us to win the game by running the football on a 2-minute drive, that says something, right? So just really, really good play there.
Right, you said you know your team. What do they show you by coming back from some of your own self-inflicted wounds?
Yeah, just they're a very resilient group. They don't get faced much, you know. I think that's why last Saturday was it just was not anything we'd ever seen. So I kind of had a feeling they'd respond that way. But I knew we had a good football team that we went against right there. So listen, USC's really good. I remember earlier in the week I saw they led the nation in yards per play or whatever on offense. Oh my God, it's just great. I saw that quarterback was ahead of the guy we saw last week in every category, right? So a really good football team that we went out and beat to have a ranked home game here for homecoming. The fans showed up in a big way. I thought that stadium was just electric. Our students were phenomenal. So this is what college football is about, and thankfully it's here at Illinois, and hopefully we're not going anywhere soon.
What more can Hank do?
What more can Hank do? He should play defense. I want him to get an interception. He's just he's a fun kid. He took a pretty big shot that early last week, right? And I knew he'd kind of come back in a big way. We kind of had some of those plays, we just hadn't got to him. And I know Barry really likes him in that position and what he can do, but also just, there's a punt return. I thought he was going to get a big one out the side over there to the left, but him and Colin Dixon, I can't say enough. And then I'm telling you, like Hudson Clement, he just keeps coming along. J-Bo, those 4 guys, really have taken a step forward. It was kind of good to see Capka Jones get out there today as well, right, and do some things. Cole Rush showed up again today, so I think we're finding more weapons rather than losing them, which on offense is a big deal.
I know you've seen a lot of Makai Levin on film, but seeing him in person, how do you think the defense reacted to him, especially in those one-on-one battles?
Yeah, he's a good player. You know what? I think the great thing about USC is they have a lot of talent. They have a very, very deep roster of skill and all at 18. I kind of like that kid. I coach outside backers in the league, so I'd watch him all week. He's talking a little smack. So there was a lot of things that I think our guys were excited about. So get out of here with a W and get ourselves in a trophy game against Purdue is absolutely what we're looking for.
Brett, Malik was out today.
Yeah, Malik is no longer with us. I've been trying to get this 5-for-5 passed. He's a guy that wanted a red shirt. And for us in our program, I just kind of made the decision, like we started this year with a roster that we felt really strong about, and if someone doesn't want to be a part of that and wants a red shirt, then I can't keep them, right? So he and I had a great conversation. I love Malik. I'll help him whatever his next step and next journey is. We had a very, very detailed conversation over a couple of days. Love the kid to death. I'm actually leaving that conversation pissed because I couldn't get him to be successful the way he wanted. And as a head coach, he's an incredible kid from the Chicagoland area that I would recruit 100 times over again. And I just want him to be successful. Some of the conversations after he told me he wanted to do what he did or what he was going to do, I said, man, all I want to do is I want you to have success, right? I don't care where it's at or where it's going to be or what it's going to be and what it entails. I want you to be successful. And I kind of had some conversations with him about that. I talked to his mom that night. Talked to some of his people during the course of the week, but I also kind of had to concentrate on the guys that are in our locker room, right? So Sabor actually had the same kind of moment, and then Sabor opted to play. And I talked to his mom, Bernice, out there in the hallway, and see him come through today, I think it's a really good indicator of what we're all about.
You were waiting for
Last one.
Juice to get healthy enough
Yeah.
to play, and then just what did you see from his first game?
Yeah, Juice he's a long, crafty guy. Love him to death. Nobody works harder than that kid. When he got injured in fall camp, it was a pretty significant, and we knew there was some defects, so it was going to take a while. And he lived in those hyperbaric chambers. Josh and his crew have given us an inventory of rehab and recovery things. We got crowd chambers, hyperbaric chambers, cool tubs. He lived in those things, and put himself in this position. Really kind of practiced a little bit Tuesday. We doubled his reps Wednesday, and then we Thursday kind of moved him into that starting role because we knew Caleb was a little bit banged up. I thought he really took advantage of the opportunity out there today.
Thank you guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it. ILL.